Salmonani, igama lami Sihle, and I'm back with another video. So let's watch this video, this iconic video, and I'm gonna comment about it. But I've been willing to talk about it, and I've been willing to listen to somebody who's gonna fact check this guy, who's gonna make sure that he destroys him with facts and no disrespect. And I'm glad that it was Sol Phenduka and MACG. Thank you, Sol Phenduka, and thank you, MACG, for just lighting the light on things some of us can reach the crowd that you can reach. But we've been willing to ask on why is this guy going around on Pat David. We watch Pat David, we watch all these guys that he went to. Because he is a billionaire, he has made connection with these right-wing guys in America. Then at the rise of the right wing in America, then he does what he does, he spread lies. So let's watch this video, then I'm gonna be going largely on what I think. And I'm proud of MACG again. I'm proud of Sol Phenduka. Let's get it.
Let's get to the shits, man, because I watched that PBD podcast. Did you watch it, Sol? And I wasn't impressed with some of the stuff you were saying, man.
What did I say?
You were spreading some misinformation there. Bro.
Oh, well, I was some of that terrorists and Shanghai rapists.
I'm not going to praise you. Which one? This is one.
Hey, I'm an entertainer. No.
Here's the first thing that you did, right? Characterization of black South Africans. You referred to black South Africans as barbaric.
Not true.
You also described the historical Zulu king Shaka as a rapist who threw people off cliffs. Your answer.
The second bit's true.
Okay. Where did that come from?
History books.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we talk about Shaka first?
Yeah.
So, Shaka was an incredible warlord, incredibly successful military man, and didn't take prisoners. He created a huge consolidation of tribes, but he also expelled lots of tribes up north that disappeared, got killed. He was, how do you describe murder in war? Is it murder or is it war? He was a warlord, and he didn't mess around. He killed his enemies. He threw them off cliffs.
Characteristics of a good leader.
Bring that back.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The rapist bit might have been a bit of an extension, but there were articles that I've read where he took in concubines and things like that against their will. Is it rape? No. Is it, what is it? Okay, so I step back on that. Okay. Do you want to get on to Mandela?
We're going to get to Mandela. What do you think about what he said?
No, I think it's fine, but you isolate and mention Shaka only, but any leader that has built a nation,
Correct.
consolidated
Correct.
and taken over countries and people that has invaded people's
Particularly
territory
in those
generally
days.
are murderers.
Particularly in those days.
That's the only way. So to highlight him only makes it feel like, he's the only leader who did that. And many people did, even the whites who came to South
Vikings.
Africa. Everybody, from
No,
Vikings,
we were pussycats.
the world over.
We were pussycats.
Nah, never.
I'm kidding.
Never.
I'm
Come on,
kidding.
you guys massacred. They massacred people the world over. So I think it's a bit unfair to just
it is
only
a bit
say
unfair.
Shaka, then it becomes.
South Africa was afflicted by 2 farm attacks per day and 2 farmer murders per week, further alleging that farmers were 3 times more likely to be murdered than police officers.
These stats are correct.
So you were basically saying what Trump was saying.
I think I said it more accurately.
Okay.
So,
Where do you get that from?
So I was in AfriForum this morning. I drove out to Pretoria, and Ernst Roots wrote the book Kill the Boer, and I met the guy 4 hours ago who compiles all the statistics on farm murders. And I said to him, I'm going to be on MACG this afternoon. They're going to ask me about these stats. Please confirm that my numbers are correct. Over 5 years, there are, on average, 1 farm attack a day, 1 farm murder a week, and of the murders, 20% involve rape, torture, and non-economic crimes. And he said, over a 5-year period, that's correct. He said, sometimes you can go 2 weeks without anything happening, but if you take that as an average over 5 years, those numbers are correct. You are 3 times more likely to be murdered as a farmer than a policeman, correct. and you are twice as likely to be murdered as a policeman than an average civilian.
Where do you get those numbers
Correct.
from?
The government doesn't like keeping those stats because they don't want, it's an embarrassment for them. AfriForum and a whole lot of other organizations have kept them. I'll send them to you. Have a look at Ernst Ruth's book, Kill the Boer. They're all in there.
According to the government, these are the official figures. They indicate that during the 2022-2023 period, 111 police officers were killed, in contrast to 49 alleged farm murderers cited by groups like AfriForum. In the last quarter of 2024, of the 12 farm murderers, only one victim was white, according to the official.
Okay, so I never mentioned the split between black and white.
Yeah.
A lot of the farm murders and attacks are on black farmers. Okay, so I never said that there's all white farmers, never once. That's a misinterpretation by people.
But it insinuates, though, you're talking about. I'm saying it insinuates that you're talking about the whites.
I know, and no, I have said on Epoch Times and other ones, I said there farmers of all colors get attacked. I mean, Nicholas Niati, who's head of the DA Youth League, the reason I met him was because I was doing a podcast a few years ago on farm attacks, and somebody said, talk to Nicholas. His uncle got killed yesterday. And I met him before he joined the DA. And I met him. And so I've been, Diane Kohler-Barnard, AfriForum, Nicholas and others. I get these stats and I look at them. They're very accurate. But true, a lot of the farmers that get attacked and murdered are black farmers. And here's another number. 63% of the farms are small holdings. They are farms, but they're small holdings. 36% are larger farms. So, it's not just big white farms being attacked and murdered. It's not. It's of all races. And I think it's important, you're right, it's important to clarify that.
And you see, when you say that takes me to my next question, because when you only zone in or you zoom into a small part of the stats, then it'll sound like we do have a farm murder problem. But if you look at how many people, for example, are murdered in their own homes, then you may find there's maybe 2 or more per day. And if I mention that, then it's going to sound like we've got a residential killing problem.
We do.
If you look at how many people are murdered on the roads when you're on the freeway, when your vehicle gets spiked and you get murdered and your wife gets raped, then I'm telling you, it happens maybe to 5 people a week. Then it sounds like we've got a dangerous roads problem.
We do.
So we've got a dangerous country problem.
Yes, we do.
So why the focus on the farms, though,
Because
not the entire stats of the country? Because we all suffer from criminality.
We do. And that's no excuse, by the way. That's an absolute indictment on the ANC, the Minister of Police and all those criminals.
True.
That criminal, Becky Telly, he was chief of police. He didn't give a damn. When the riots happened in KZN and spread to Gauteng,
let's go back to
the police and the army did nothing. So let me get to your point. We have a really horrific, the murder capital, the cities, the worst murder rates in the world, in the top 5, 3 South African cities.
Cape Town.
Not funny enough, Cape Town's dropped out of the top 10 recently.
Oh.
It's dropped out of the top 10. Go and have a look.
Cape Flats.
Even with the Cape Flats.
Fact check the word.
Have fact checked that. Alan Windy told me on Saturday at the rugby. He said, we've dropped out of the top 10.
Check that for us.
Yeah,
So cities with the highest murder rates in the world. I think it's Joburg, Durban, and Pietermaritzburg, or Joburg, Durban, something like that.
Yeah.
But Cape Town's not top 10 anymore. Those Cape Flats guys are cooling down.
But you still haven't answered Saul's question.
Yeah, why the focus on farm?
Because farmers
victims
are
not all of us as victims.
No, because we are all victims. The crime's out of control. But farmers are disproportionately murdered as a percentage. There are 30,000 commercial farmers in South Africa. Okay, there were 90,000, only 30,000 now. So if you take 30,000 commercial farmers and our broad population of, let's call it 60 million, and you do those numbers over those bases, you'll see it's still 3-4 times more likely to be killed as a farmer.
But that's
No,
just stats. Look, if we've got 2 Chinese out of 10 people,
And one
one gets killed,
Then we have a Chinese murderer.
50% of Chinese have been murdered. So Rob, it's pure stats.
So stats.
Generally, and
how else are you going to analyze it?
And I'm not playing off the murdering of people, because these are humans and these are people's families. But we have a serious problem. Of course, the numbers are going to be disproportionate.
So here's the real issue.
Just like why there's a more chance of a police officer getting killed
they're in
than
action.
an average South African, because they're in action against who? Violent criminals.
So let's
and there's only 200,000.
So as you've seen the video, Saul PHENDUKA totally not buying it. He was not buying it from Rob HERSOV and his lies, and he destroyed him on why is he reflecting black people as savages. And he said that's what they wanted to get out of him. Is that a true patriot? Let me ask you, is that a patriot? A person who goes out on the right-wing podcast, then spread lies so that he can get them what they want from him. Why doesn't he give them the truth if he's a man of honor? I'm glad the light will be shared, and the light is shared in the biggest platform. Us as black people shouldn't ignore this moment. We should take this moment as a moment of victory for black podcasts, because of, he went around in those podcasts, and MACG beat those podcasts when it comes to numbers. But it's okay in YouTube. But it's okay. They might have more money than him, but the reach is saying itself. So I'm glad that when he came home, he looked like a fool. He made himself a fool. I'm glad that PHENDUKA, he totally obliterated. And the nice thing I liked about MACG knew him. When I say knew him, you saw every time he was off-ramping, MACG would say, no, we'll go back to NC. Every time. He make interesting stories when he talks about ANC. But when it's time to reflect on the Afrikaners and then the stories shift, the stories tone shift, and everything he's been fact-checked on, the story shift. He sound like a different person. You wouldn't swear that's Rob HERSOV. So shout out to MACG, and please like, subscribe, and click that comment in those videos. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you are proud of MACG. Tell me if you are disappointed in MACG. Let's go.